a member of the Hunter Association, your source for all things Hunter x Hunter. My name is Kaige.
And my name is Dylan.
And on this week's episode, we will be talking about Hunter x Hunter 1999, episodes 22 to 24.
Let's go.
Then, of course, we'll be going through our community comments. If you'd like to join in on the community and have your comment read, be sure to comment on the YouTube version on the weekly community posts. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to help grow our community of Hunter x Hunter fans. Additionally, if you'd like to know when new episodes are live, click the bell to enable notifications. And if you're an audio listener, make sure to rate, review, and comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at TXHAClayPod, as well as Bluesky at THAPod for podcast-related updates and to submit responses to the weekly call-out posts. If you'd like, you can also still email us at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com. As always, we have provided timestamps in the description if you'd like to skip ahead to any of the aforementioned segments.
Nice.
News. Well,
You're funny.
You know.
You're so funny thinking that there's a news section.
Yeah, you know how it is. But we do have one page for the Battle for Owl, which is, if you are uninitiated, this is a comic done by a listener of ours named Leo Dog. This is a ongoing series that you can check out on our social media pages or on the fan wiki created by Insert Name. And this time we only have one page and there is no dialogue really, except some people in the background that we can read, as always. But we have some incredible artwork this time around. I absolutely love this. So in the last chapter or page, whatever, I had just activated my speed up ability and I am now moving at incredible speeds, which is depicted in the coolest way possible. I love it a lot.
No, the paneling on this page is actually insane, I think. It's designed incredibly well. Shout out to Leo Dog for his work on this, because wow.
Yes.
I'm in awe.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. So yeah, I'm just kind of speeding around, and then I pull a knife from my something somewhere. I don't know where. And then I slash Dylan.
Yeah, I kind of got fucked here.
Rough.
Yeah, I don't know how I recover from this, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a big blow, but we'll see. I am sure this is not as it seems exactly.
Maybe not. We'll see. But we do have some signs in the background, I think.
Of course we do.
Yeah. You might need to do the heavy lifting on that, though. I can't really zoom in on my setup at the moment.
Yeah, I just had to pull it up on my phone so I could. So from left to right, we have boy, and then
awesome.
Menchie, please.
I agree.
Fair. Yeah, I feel that. Then the return of our favorite character, the guy who keeps crossing out names to whoever's winning and is now on Kaige again. Of course.
He's a betting man.
Then we have... Yeah, he sure is. Then we have Hunter x Hunter mid. Okay,
yeah. Fair enough.
Then we have Insert Name is the GOAT. Very true, very true.
No, I agree.
Based audience member.
Absolutely.
Then we have I Heart Gone. Me too.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
That's a given.
And then finally, Jing is Yusuke. True.
I'll agree to that.
Very true. Yeah, Dylan knows all about that.
Yeah, I know all about Yusuke.
And yeah, that's all we got this week. But go check it out. You can see it on screen on YouTube, or you can see it on our socials or the wiki.
Yeah, and as always with every episode, we will let you know if any more pages are added.
That's right. All right. Well, that's it for the intro segment this week. not much to
kind of a short one
to go over. yeah. But I guess we're ready to just go ahead and talk about the episodes of 99.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, guys, welcome to our coverage on Hunter x Hunter 1999, episodes 22 to 24.
Let's go.
Starting off here with, obviously, episode 22, we have Found, Hide, Caught Up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
title.
Aptly titled.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we are on Zevil Island, as we had just arrived at the end of last week's episode. And Gon is,
He's trading.
kind of just, yeah, he's trying to figure out how he's going to catch Hisoka. He's hanging out with the butterflies. He realizes, the butterflies are drawn to blood, as we all know. What are these called? They have a name, right?
They do have a name. It was said at one point. Hemotropic butterflies.
That's it. Correct. There you go.
Yeah.
And they make a sound for some reason. Did you notice this?
I didn't actually. I thought that was just like background noise, I think. But I believe.
Well, I guess it could be, but
I was just like wilderness. But I don't know. Maybe it's from the butterflies. I wasn't paying that much.
It was just a very particular sound. I don't know. It was really interesting. Maybe it was just wilderness sounds. That now I'm second guessing it, but I thought it was coming from the butterflies, and I don't know any butterfly that makes an audible sound. So that's interesting. But it is a fantasy butterfly, so I guess it makes sense.
Right. Yeah, speaking of fantasy butterflies, how this is kind of more shown later into the episode. How the hell does Gon tie string to these butterflies? What in the world?
Well, he's like Tarzan, he can just kind of do things like that.
But do these butterflies' bodies are they sturdy enough to have string tied to them?
I guess.
That thought crossed
we're
my
seeing
mind.
it.
I mean, we
You
are
have
seeing
to believe it.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right. Anyways,
their bodies are more sturdy than a normal butterfly.
Oh, actually, rewatching it right now as we speak, it happens literally after that scene. So okay, never mind. I was good to talk about that now.
Yeah, it's immediately after. So then we go to the Leorio part. We see Hisoka for a second too, but whatever.
Right.
This is more important because I had thought the Tompa stomach ache was replaced in the last episode, but instead that was just a prelude, and now we are on to the real Tompa stomach ache moment. The classic.
Classic.
With much better sound effects than the 2011 version. I don't know if you recall, Dylan.
No,
okay.
It's been a while. What did it sound like?
In the 2011 version, his stomach is making it's like water. It sounds like running water, like somebody just turned on the sink. It's one of the weirdest sound effects I've ever heard in my life. It must be the only thing they had in their sound library that sounded anything like a stomach gurgle. So they're just fuck it, I'll just use that.
Which is so bizarre because you would think that's one of the most common sound effects used in anime today, right? Just the main character's stomach growling or something.
Yeah.
That's
maybe it didn't want it to be a hunger growl. I don't know. But yeah, so this is more natural. I also question how he's even making the sound if he doesn't actually have a stomach ache.
Well, I correct you on this because it's revealed. It is revealed later that he did actually have to have a stomach ache. We'll get to that when we get to that. I'll bring that
Wait, did I forget this completely?
I think you did, yeah.
Wow. Okay, hold on. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
But he's like, "Oh, please help me. Give me your medicine in your bag." Yeah.
I'm
whatever.
dying.
Yeah, it's over for me, bro. Please.
And
Leorio's not having it.
Yep.
But he bargains. He's like, "All right, I got info on your target. If you help me out here, I can help you get your target, basically."
And Leorio in general is also just as his stomach keeps making these sounds, he's just oh, I think you're actually are hurting. Damn, tough.
Yeah. So he is eventually at the point where he will help him, but it doesn't even really matter because the monkey guy comes out and steals his stuff anyways. He could have done that at any moment.
He could have, but maybe he wanted to wait for when the briefcase was being opened specifically because because as Tompa does in his post explanation on all the antics, he knew the badge. He had a feeling the badge was inside his suitcase. So that's why he waited
right,
until
but
that moment.
couldn't he have just taken the suitcase? Like,
was there like a lock on the suitcase? I actually don't remember.
there was latches, but that's not like a.
Wow.
It's not like a key lock.
You know, maybe that was a risk they didn't want to take. You know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they were just being cautious of the possibility of a lock.
Maybe.
I'll let it slide, but
okay.
You know.
Yeah.
It's this is Tompo we're talking about. Tompo and Monkey Man. I don't know his name.
Yeah, Tompo and Monkey Man.
Dream Team. I wish these guys were in an Impact.
Right. Oh, imagine like a puppet character, like the Monkey Man. You have like the monkey. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of like Zato from Guilty Gear. You know.
That would be fire. Yeah. That's a requirement.
That is a requirement. DLC.
Please,
Season
Monkey
1.
Man DLC. Yeah, in Season 1. Right after Pito.
Yeah, deserved, obviously.
Oh, yeah. So, they get a suitcase and his badge, and yes, you're correct. He takes the medicine. He takes the medicine out, and he takes the pills, and he says he actually had to get a stomach ache.
Yeah, because he knew he wanted to be a doctor, and he would know if he was faking it. So, and then he
Good
swallows
job,
like
Tompa.
but then he swallows like 1 billion pills at once to cure his stomach ache, and I don't know if that's smart.
So he's gonna overdose.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like ibuprofen or something, but like that's a little dangerous, man. What the hell?
Ibuprofen, that's all it was. Yeah. Please, Leorio, give me your ibuprofen.
Please, dude. No, like look how many pills he like dumps out.
I know.
Ridiculous.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Lario's pissed, obviously, as a result of this. But,
was that in the manga? Like, I don't recall him saying that he had to actually get a real stomach ache. Let me check out the differences page on 99.
I'm looking at it right now, and it doesn't note that specifically in the anime and manga differences.
I was just looking at the volume too. Whatever, I'm not gonna go get it now, but interesting. I don't know. I really in my that's why I was so like, oh yeah, there's no way that he actually had one, because I could have sworn he didn't say anything about that. But if that is an additional thing added to 99, I respect it.
Yeah, no, I do too.
That makes a lot of sense. It shows that Tompa at least like has somewhat of an admiration for Leorio's intelligence if he's like actually going the whole way.
Right.
So now Leorio's pissed off. He's chasing after Tompa while the monkey guy runs away in the other direction. But then, of course, Kurapika trips him. Well,
yeah, it has like a whole monologue.
No, he kicks him in the face, actually.
Yeah, which that animation looked really cool, by the way. I thought.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Like,
but then when he falls over, it looks like shit.
Well, yeah, but you know, we take
but the kick was great.
Yeah, the actual kick itself was what I was talking about. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Smooth with it.
Yeah. Very clean. There's a few really good moments of animation in these episodes we'll get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kurapika's back. Welcome back. And he knocks Tompa out.
Mm-hmm.
What a bro.
That's
now back to Gon. He's still using the butterflies to try to find blood. And he ends up finding the guy that Poco killed.
Yeah.
Well, not killed. Sorry, he did not kill. He left him within miles of water and whatever, yada yada.
Yeah. And Gon decides to be a nice kid, sets him up near a tree next to a river. So
yeah, how nice.
Tells him better luck next year, buddy.
Yeah, so I guess he'll live and get knocked out by Killua.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Then cutting away to guy with spear, my favorite character.
Now this I think is a difference between the anime and manga. This is brand new stuff.
Yes, I had thought that. I didn't verify though, but yeah, I think this whole thing is
new.
According
to Hunterpedia,
right? This entire
This entire showdown
here.
being shown in general, yes.
This is all new.
Which is kind of cool, I think.
Yeah, I actually quite like this. It fits right in, really. Like, I wasn't even thinking, like, in the moment, like, oh, this is not from the manga.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely seemed, like, unfamiliar, but it wasn't, like, setting off filler sirens, you know?
Like, I never in my life, like seeing Goes be, like, a main focus. I was like, I don't remember this happening at all. But, yeah,
Goes,
no, it fit
that's
in.
his name, yes.
Yeah. It did fit in, though, like you said. I didn't for a second think, like, oh, like, this is obviously, like, you know, added or filler or whatever, you know? But
yeah,
it worked.
So it's between Goes and Ilumi or Gitaraka or whatever is Ilumi. But as also Cyper is watching from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Or sniping from a distance.
I was about to say, she's about to pull the trigger in this scene.
Yeah. And she is actually about to pull the trigger when... well, does she actually? I think she actually...
No, it cuts away. She says goodbye, and then we come back to Gon when a gunshot happens. And that's all we know for now.
Right.
We'll come back to that later. But
yes, we will come back to that momentarily. But in the meantime, we're back to Gon, who is... still doing the same thing he's been doing the whole episode.
I like how he's just like, oh, a gunshot, and then just keeps walking.
Oh, I mean, when you're on this situation, I suppose a gunshot wouldn't be the most surprising thing to hear.
I guess so, but it was like pretty close by to him, and he was just like very unconcerned. Like,
yeah, okay, he really was
following the butterflies again.
Yeah, he's focused.
Yeah, he is. That shows how honed in he is right now.
Yeah. Then back to Leorio and Kurapika, who are chasing down Monkey Man now.
Mm-hmm.
And Monkey Man, you know, kind of a formidable foe.
Whoa, we forgot to mention as well that Gon encountered Hisoka.
Oh, yeah, he got right up to Hisoka.
Yeah, now he's shaking in the bushes or whatever.
Yes, he's chilling. Well, not chilling, but
yeah, very
watching.
not chilling at this point.
Not chilling. He's watching carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Monkey Man, big problem. He's more so the monkey rather than the man, but the monkey is kind of just shitting all over Leorio specifically.
And this is also an anime and manga difference, apparently, according to Hunterpedia.
That must be a more minor one.
Well, chasing down the monkey specifically, I think.
Sami is this guy's name.
Or no, this entire thing. Yeah, this entire thing is added.
Huh.
This wasn't in the manga.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is very good filler because I really didn't think it was filler.
Yeah. No, I guess it was just like 2 panels or whatever in the manga, but like this is an entire scene.
Okay, so it's expanding.
Yes, it's expanding on this like little encounter, I guess.
Okay. Well, cool. I like it. It gives Leorio a cool moment where he throws a fork.
Yeah, where did he have that?
I guess he just carries around a fork. I mean,
he wasn't carrying his briefcase with him, I don't think. Like, did he just have that in his pocket? Like,
yeah, he got dinner before they went there, and he accidentally put the fork in his pocket. So
yeah, that's a Leorio.
He's just kind of been carrying it around this whole time.
I could see Leorio pickpocketing, like from a restaurant.
Yeah, I could see it.
But yeah,
so they restrain him.
Yeah, Kurapika captures the monkey as well,
and Leorio captures the man.
Which, by the way, like I don't. That monkey is really stupid. Because like Kurapika just like it was just watching him in a tree, or like, and then he just like picked a berry off of a stem,
yeah,
flipped it into him, and
actually
knocked him down
the dumbest shit
instantly.
ever. That must be the most powerful berry in the world.
Yeah, like what in the world, man? I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Further showcasing the Kurapika agenda that 99 has now. He can do everything. I'm just saying.
He can do everything, even flick a berry at light speed.
Yeah, actually. Might as well be like a BB gun, like pellet.
Yes. So he does that, and the both of them are contained, but wasn't that Sami? Yeah, Sami is like, okay, what's the monkey's name? Kamuri.
Yep.
Only listens to me, which is the monkey. And then immediately he listens to Kurapika. So
And gets the badge for him.
wrong.
Incorrect.
Grabs the badge, and I like that too because good hunters are well liked by animals. Yada yada.
Yep.
Good stuff. And then they tie up Tompa and Monkey Man.
Yeah, and then so this happens immediately after, right? The whole like yeah. So they tie him up and they're walking away now, like, okay, job's done, got the badges, whatever, yippee, right? I think this is where Karapika revealed that Tompa was his target too.
Correct.
So. There's that, and then the monkey Kamari starts following Karapika as if like Karapika's like his new master. Which, in an alternate timeline, I would love to see that him as a companion.
Yeah,
but,
what happened to him?
Yeah, no, so this is added as well. Karapika has an entire scene talking to him, like kind of like Ash Pikachu style, like, hey, you don't have to listen to humans anymore. You're free.
Yeah.
Go do your own thing, man. And and he says go.
Which
and
I
he's,
liked.
Like immediately scared and runs away. But he finds another pack of monkeys soon after that he joins up with.
How lovely.
Yeah. Nice little happy ending for Kamari. Our favorite character.
Yeah. It's kind of awesome. I quite enjoy it.
No, yeah, it was cute. I liked it.
Yeah.
Didn't really harm anything from the source material either. It's just expanding. So did we even know what happened to Kamari in the manga? Was it just kind of like Togashi dropped it? Like I don't even remember.
I have to imagine so. I don't remember anything further about that.
That's so funny.
This is obviously Zevil Island is where we bid farewell to like 90% of the Greed Island cast. So I mean, a lot of them just kind of drop off the face of the earth here.
That's the end for Sami.
That's it. And well, we will see them one more time actually in another episode.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Very briefly.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for Tompa too. Then aside from that scene. So
yeah, aside from the scene coming up, so. Farewell. He was definitely Tompa.
Yeah, farewell to the monkey trainer and the rookie crusher.
That's right. So back to Gon, a classic scene here where Gon is stalking Hisoka. Hisoka notices someone watching him. He's like, "All right, man, just come out. I know you're there." And Gon is like, "Oh fuck, it's over, bro. I'm
so
cooked.
Over.
It is so over." But lo and behold, it was Goes. Yeah, Goes. It was Goes. Who is he's wanting to challenge Hisoka to a battle to the death.
Yeah, he stands up like 5 feet away from Gon too. How did they not notice each
he's
other?
right there. Yeah, when he swings his spear back, it almost like decapitates Gon. That's how close they are.
So funny.
But as they're fighting, the butterflies start to appear around Goes. Which, I mean, since they're attracted to blood, it's like, well, okay. I mean, that's probably not good.
Probably.
And then he slumps over, and Hisoka realizes, oh, this guy is like about to die. And Goes is, very admirable moment. He's like, man, I'm about to die. I just want to go out swinging.
Yeah.
Let me fight.
They another anime manga difference here. He reveals that he's from a warrior group known as the Biyanu Mercenaries. Which
a little lore.
Don't know what that's about. Yeah, but
99 just wanted to invent something. They were feeling themselves.
They want to give something special to Goes of all characters. Yeah.
It works. I liked it.
I mean, yeah, like I believe it. Like it gives them I don't know, it gives a little bit of like emotion to this like one-off encounter, right? So I kind of like it. Yeah.
Then Hisoka delivers the hardest line of all time. I have no interest in dead men.
Oh, man.
And then...
Cold.
And, yeah, he just kind of sits down and has no interest in fighting this dude at all. But Goes, in an amazingly animated moment, still decides to charge at him anyways. And, well...
And he does so. But, we see
he stopped in his tracks.
We see a pin strike his head, and then like a million more pins strike him in quick succession. And, he kind of falls over dead. And
Yep.
you can guess who did that. It's a guitar rocker. He shows up and is like,
Guitar rocker.
it's like I got careless. You ran away.
Yeah,
My
I let
bad.
him get away. So we know what happened there now.
And then Hisoka called him out, said, "You're lying. He was begging for his life. You were just toying with him."
Yep. Of course.
But also, this is like where the first time we're hearing Ilumi's voice, I think, here, right? If I recall correctly.
Well, in a second, we're hearing Guitar Rocker's voice still at this point.
It's
But
the same
then
thing. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
No, different.
It sounded so similar to me, both of those voices. Because I thought the same when I heard that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna hear a different voice when he actually changes to Ilumi, and then it like sounded the exact same to me.
Hold on, let me verify. I noticed a difference personally, but let me make sure because it could just be same actor doing a different, like a slightly different voice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
In any case, while you verify that, his voice is fucking weird to me. I'm not gonna lie, guys. That's gonna take some getting used to.
We say this about everybody. I'm sure but the thing is, we've said this about like the main characters. Ilumi is definitely not that, so we're not gonna hear him as much as we do like Karapika or Killua.
Right, but even with the other characters, I heard some of like some amount of similarities in those voices before, but like this is a completely different take on Ilumi's voice direction than in 2011. So it caught me off guard.
Way different. Yeah, it's extremely feminine.
Yes.
I mean, it obviously is literally a woman voicing him, but it's also like there's not even like a hint of masculinity.
No.
At all. This is it's interesting. I don't hate it, but it's just different.
Yeah.
And also, as far as I can tell, they do have the same voice, I guess. So, but I also can't really tell. It's weird. But yeah. Anyways, it's a weird voice. It'll take some getting used to, but
yeah,
it's fine.
Before we go further as well, like before Guitar Rocker changes into Illumi and we see all that. We actually cut away back to the moment where the gunshot happened with Cyper. Was that her name, right? And we see I thought it was a pretty like decently animated thing for just like a little flashback moment of like what actually happened in that fight, which was basically she pulled the trigger and she shot Goes instead of Guitar Rocker, and then or Ilumi, whatever you want to call him now. And then we see like a nice little shot like through Cyper's scope of like Ilumi like jumping up into the air and just like immediately killing her like through the scope.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
That was a very cool moment.
Yeah. Which is similar to what happens in the source material as well, because he is responsible for killing Cyper in the manga as well, but different circumstances. So then we also I want to note the cool moment where he takes all the pins out of his face. That looked really neat.
Yeah.
His face like kind of like contorts back into real Ilumi.
Yeah, for 99 animation especially, like I don't know, like that just looked really smooth, just like the transformation in general. I expected something a little bit more like whimsical, I guess, but
good.
It
was cool.
Gon was freaked out by this, though. By the way, I like that they cut away to like a small shot of his face. He's like disgusted at what he saw.
Yeah. And then Ilumi's like, "Yeah, I'm tired. I'm just gonna go to bed." And he digs a hole. That's it.
Yeah,
that's Ilumi.
Yeah, that's Ilumi.
Yeah, that's a weird ass freak. So that's it for him. I want to take a moment to just talk about his voice a little more, because I was so taken aback by that voice. I don't know, like I like you, I heard Guitar Rocker speak and I was like, okay, that's odd, but it's Guitar Rocker. Exactly. Let's see what he's about to sound like. And I personally noticed at least a little bit of a difference when it switched, but I guess it is the same person, just slightly different. But I was equally shocked when that voice just kind of settled into what it is, and it was just like very high pitched, very feminine, which is not what I expected. Because when I see Ilumi, I'm expecting like, this means nothing to you, but I'm expecting like Itachi, who has like a very deep voice. And in 2011, he doesn't have a deep voice per se, but it's a guy.
It's kind of like it's just like a cold, calculating voice almost.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like,
But yeah, this is very much not that. And I think what's also throwing me off as well is that we talked about this with Killua whenever he was introduced, about how he had a much more feminine sounding voice as well. Granted, that's grown on both of us, I think, since that introduction. But I think it's especially like weirder here when like Illumi has a more feminine voice than Killua, I feel like. And he's like the older brother. Like that is so weird to me. Like, I don't know. It's something about
what's
that.
Silva gonna sound like?
He's just gonna straight up sound like a woman at this point.
He might.
Yeah,
I'd if he does, I'd respect the hell out of it.
It's all in the genetics. Yeah.
Yeah. And Zeno too.
Grandma Zeno.
Grandma Zeno.
Anyways, the voice direction is like we'll hear Illumi a few more times, I'm sure, and like maybe we'll have a more solid judgment on that. But it's weird right now.
I want to hear more. I want to hear the big Illumi moments.
Yeah.
Weird for now, but things will change. Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not so sure about this one, honestly. But
yeah, that's a weirder one. But that's pretty much the end of the episode. We just have, Gon's continuing to stalk Hisoka, and Hisoka spots Kurapika and Leorio.
And
then that's
what's gonna happen now?
Ooh. What's gonna happen? Yeah, decent episode. Nothing much to say about it. It was probably the least eventful one to me. I don't. Not many thoughts formed in my head.
Least eventful, but it was still really good. And the stuff that they did like add and expand upon, I really respect for what they did. I think it was a nice way to fill out the episode while making it something new to experience. So that was good.
No doubt. Yeah, not bad at all. So now episode 23, which is called Hisoka Crash Gon.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot is in this episode.
Crash Bandicoot. That's right. It's in the 90s, right? Like late 90s, early 2000s. That's around the era.
Yeah, he was big.
Yeah.
This is his era. So we start off with a bang. Animation, awesome. I love this a lot.
Yeah.
This looks very good. Hisoka is sprinting at Leorio and Kurapika with a very interesting run.
He's like dancing almost like through the trees.
I really like it. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if he runs like that in the manga. I don't recall.
I have to assume he doesn't, but like very interesting.
But I love it.
The decision here, but it works, and Gon's just kind of like just steadily running alongside him.
Yeah.
Just this entire like scene in general is just like really cool, really speedy feeling.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's we were talking about how speed is conveyed, and when we were talking about the Leo Dog comic earlier, and this is very similar actually. It's looks so cool. I love the fluidity of the speed. That's my favorite thing about it.
Right.
So eventually he does catch up to Leorio and Kurapika, and the whole vibe shifts. Kurapika and Leorio are like, well, this ain't good, but they're staying cool, calm, and collected, of course. Also along the way, we see a little Garetta.
Garetta is he's following Gon. So there's a lot of people being followed right now in this episode.
Yeah. That's the theme.
Yeah.
So we have this confrontation here, which is mostly the same as the manga, except for a little difference here that I'm looking forward to talking about. So you know how it goes. They're like, well, we don't stand a chance really against you in a fight, but regardless, we're gonna bargain. He wants to basically Kurapika is bargaining about the badge that they don't know what it's worth to Hisoka. Is the idea here. It could be the one he needs, could be worth a single point, but they're offering it to him
because
in exchange to let them get away.
Because it's only worth 1 point to both of them also.
Right. And if Hisoka is not to take that exchange, they will try to fight. And this is where Kurapika. Oh, what?
Yeah, I was going to say this animation
Okay.
is sick. What Kurapika
Yes.
does.
Dude, okay, so this is the coolest shit ever. I wish this was canon. It is
Yeah.
absolutely not, but oh my god, I love it. I love this so much. So, Kurapika's boken, the wooden swords that he always has, he reveals that they're real swords. He has them wrapped, and he pulls the wrap off and unsheathes 2 swords, and the coolest shit ever. Oh my god, I love that a lot.
With his teeth, too, like, oh my
that
god.
That was
like,
hardest
badass.
thing I've ever seen. That was so cool. Wow.
Yeah, and then Lyrio just like coldly pulls out his knife alongside
Yes, and he
him as
pulls
well.
out it. Dude, that shot, oh my god, that's going in the thumbnail. I love that shot. That is so cool.
It was very, very cool. And it just, dude, Kurapika, you had that the entire time, this entire exam. Like, I want that to be canon so badly. I want it so badly.
I know. I love that idea of disguising real swords as like training swords. That is so cool.
Yeah, it makes me more appreciative of the Bokon in a very very weird way. But I dug this scene a lot. It was so cool.
Yeah, dude, he is aura farming like crazy. Kurapika looks insanely cool. So does Leorio. It's just, oh my god, it's so cool. I was soying out. Like, this was sick as well.
Soying out.
But obviously it goes nowhere because Hisoka does accept the deal.
Yeah,
so
he's like, all right, I respect it. Just give me the badge.
But even in backing away, they're not done aura farming because Kurapika does this sick ass move where he like tosses the other sword back to his other hand.
Yeah, like dude, he just magnetically attracted it or something.
So cool! Oh my god.
What in the
world? It makes me
world?
wish he kept the swords. Even these were never swords to begin with. It's just a 99 thing. But I wish they were swords first of all, and I wish he kept them because holy shit, that is so cool.
Yeah, he aura farmed an insane amount here. I can't lie. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then they back away into the shadows.
Yep. After putting the badge in the tree for Hisoka, and he's like, I'll be here. Go on. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. He goes like, don't worry, I'm not gonna bother with anything, and he doesn't.
No. Yeah. He keeps his word.
But then, so after they back away into the shadows, we have, of course, a classic Hisoka moment here.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like, I love that line. Why is it so tempting to pick fruit before it's ripe? I love that. Oh my god.
He
That's
has the
not the most
coldest
Hisoka
lines.
shit ever.
Yeah.
Dude, I know. So cool. So yeah, he lets them get away, but he picks up the badge also, and it's not the one he needs, which Gon is happy about because that means he still has a target.
Yeah, but he only needs one more badge to get his 6 points. So
right,
Gon only has one more chance.
So he has one chance. And now we just kind of have Gon sitting there in the trees, being like, "Well, okay, at least I still have one more chance. Let's go. I got this." And then he starts shaking. He's feeling something happening. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know what. And shout out to 99. That's Nen. Like, that is straight up Nen. Yeah. For sure. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They make it a little vague in 2011, but they just made it Nen here. Like, that is definitely Nen. It looks cool as hell. I love it. This is very well done.
Yeah, but they keep it subtle still too. They don't elaborate on this at all on what's happening.
But you know what it is if you know what Nen is. And I like that a lot about it. It's it's retroactive canon, but it's still cool.
Right.
Because I don't think Togashi knew what Nen was when he did this moment. But still, 99 definitely did. So Gon is freaking the hell out. He doesn't know what he's feeling. He's just calling it bloodlust, of course.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be here right now, man.
Yeah, I want to go home. This is not for me. Mm-hmm. He just grabs his fishing rod and he's just shaking his teeth or chattering. Oh my god, it's so
Meanwhile, Hisoka is freaking the fuck out in a different kind of way.
Yes, so he's laughing in the really freaky way.
He's scratching himself, licking his lips, very well animated stuff. It was creepy.
Yeah, he's saying like, I'm excited, I gotta calm myself down. And you get these close-up shots of his eyes, and his pupils are like bulging out into his eyelids.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? That is so cool. What a cool detail.
They depicted his insanity like so well here. I have to give kudos.
It's like what it's portraying. It's like his insides are about to like pop out of him. Like he's like holding his whole being together.
Yeah,
right
like
now.
he actually is struggling to contain himself.
Yeah. This is brilliant. This is my like moment of these 3 episodes. I was like locked the hell in. This was just perfect. They nailed it. They obviously did the face, the iconic big ugly face panel. It's amazing. And then he does the slumped walk as the bloodlust subsides.
All right, time to go.
Yep. And now Gon is calm down, but he's very clearly like, okay, this man is about to kill someone. So if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen now.
Yeah, like first person he sees, that guy's dying.
Yep. Incredible. I can't say enough good things about how that moment was done in this adaptation. Bravo. Hisoka has had some issues in this adaptation, but that was not one of them. That was perfect.
That was probably his best moment so far. Granted, I think next episode has my favorite moment still out of the bunch, but
okay,
this is easy number 2 for me. This entire scene.
Yep. So Hisoka's on the move slowly, but that's what makes it creepy. And you know what's so cool? We just saw him earlier this episode at like the speed of light hunting prey, and now we're seeing this totally different version of him. Just so cool. This is a great episode.
Yeah, this is an amazing episode.
Yeah. So Gon's following him, and he eventually realizes like, okay, when he finds someone, he's gonna pop. Like it's over in the blink of an eye. So I gotta find this guy fast. I gotta find his target before he even is in the vicinity of him.
Yeah. So
goes up on top of a tree, scouts out, and finds a guy. Do you have this guy's name handy by chance?
Let's see.
I don't see it on this wiki page.
Agon.
Yeah. Sure.
He has a lot of info in his Wanderpedia. Trust me.
Oh, wow. He really does.
He's only shown in this scene, I think.
That's awesome.
How did he pass all the other phases?
Where was he in the filler?
Where
what
was
did he do?
Yeah.
Did he help with the boat?
Anyway.
Well, Agon, my goat. I love him. So he's unfortunately he's not long for this world, but
no.
I love him dearly. So Gon spots him and runs for him so he can get to him before Hisoka. He's like, all right, I got like 30 seconds max. I gotta get the fuck over there. So he runs. Hisoka's coming up on him. Gon's getting ready. Another really cool moment here. Gon is just like psyching himself up, waiting for the moment. Hisoka pulls into frame. He's about to pounce, and then Agon's just like, Hisoka, that's literally the only thing he has time to say. It's like, what the fuck is going on right now? What did I do?
He's running at him like, yeah, I get it, man. Like, what the hell?
That's like, oh my god, Hisoka looks horrifying.
Crazy face, yeah.
Yeah. Agon's just like, all right, man, fuck it, here we go. And yeah, he's dead. But in that moment, Gon snatches the badge. Hell yeah, Gon. Classic.
Plan worked.
You gotta love it. And what I also love about this in this version is when Gon grabs it, Hisoka like snaps back to reality. He's like, oh shit. And now like whenever he lands, his face is normal. He's composed.
Yeah, his face changed as soon as the badge was grabbed by the rod. Like,
it's so cool. Like, because you can interpret it 2 ways. Like, one, he satisfied his bloodlust because he killed that guy right there. But also, like, something just happened that definitely impressed the hell out of him.
Yeah, like
snapped him back to reality. Something I also love, exactly. Something I also love is the face. Like when he looks at Gon afterwards, that face, that's great, because that is like it's loaded. It's a very interesting face. It's just like a kind of slack jawed, like droopy eye. Like I don't even know what it is, but that's Hisoka for me. Like,
it's
I don't really know what he's thinking.
mix of surprise, admiration, like
Yeah.
or you could even interpret it as like, oh, this motherfucker, like
Yeah.
this kid.
Yeah, exactly. The audacity. And Gon is just like sweating because they are now locking eyes. Like,
yeah. He turns to him. He's like, oh, and Hisoka gets a big smile on his face and starts walking towards him.
Starts walking, and then Gon starts running. He probably knows it's hopeless, but he's running anyways.
Right. Like, what else can you do?
Hisoka pursues.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for our hero Gon, he, as we know, he's been being stalked by Garetta, who has had a plan.
I love this scene though. I just want to mention before we get into the rest of this, because like the running of Gon goes on for like a little bit, and you could feel like the tension building up as you're just watching him run. And he's like, I did it, I got it, like I knew I could do it, and then you just see like the flash of like purple like go as something happens to Gon, obviously.
So cool. I love how that was done. It's like a horror movie. It's so cool.
Yeah, his pupils slowly like dilate.
Yep.
It's
like something's wrong. And
he just slows to a walk and then just falls.
Garetta's like, well, sorry, kid. he compliments him. I mean, he's like, damn, you did a good ass job, but
you
I'm
had
better.
Like 300 and something chances for me to get you. That was also how many times you swung your rod. Like,
yeah.
What I really liked, there was also a little like, oh, by the way, I have to say thank you for back at Battleship Island. Which
there
I
you
guess
go.
It's officially what it's called, by the way.
Battleship Island.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very fitting name, I suppose. But
little on the nose, but So, Garetta's he walks off with the badge. He's feeling himself. He's like, hell yeah, winner, I got this shit.
Yep. Number 1 victory royale.
Yep. And then Hisoka kills him.
Which did we see that like on page or on screen in the manga?
Yeah,
I can't remember. Okay.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's very quick.
Pretty much
here.
exactly like that. Yep, it's super quick. He just slumps over and he's dead.
Yep.
Rip.
Rip Garetta.
It's not long for this world. So, Hisoka is now walking towards Gon after killing Garetta. Gon's trying to reach for his fishing rod, but I mean he's a little paralyzed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gon's like, man, this shit's over. Also, Hisoka's wearing Garetta's hat, which is amazing.
I love that. That is so funny.
That's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I love that a lot.
That shot's just, dude, this episode is just so well directed in general. Like, it pans up from, like, the lower part of his body as if, like, you were, like, going on the ground, right?
Yeah.
And you just see all all of these butterflies surrounding him, and then it just slowly pans up as Hisoka's talking. And you just, you see the hat on him. So, you know what happened.
You sure do.
Yeah.
So cool. I love it. And then
Hisoka's complimenting Gon, basically.
Yep. It's like, good job. Then he gives him the badges, both of them. The one that, he took from Hisoka as well. And he's gonna walk away. He's like, yeah, good job. You earned it. But Gon is not the type to accept something like that, as we know. So he stands, which is damn impressive.
And I like to make note of this, especially because it's just so much cooler with the context, right? Of like, Gon is talking down like, no, I don't want to win this way or whatever, right? And Hisoka's like, okay, well, you're not gonna like fight me anyways because you're like that, or he's like the muscle like poison or whatever. Like, you shouldn't be able to move for like 10 days, but maybe you can get better in 4. You'll make it to the next phase, right? And as he starts walking away, like after that line is said, like, yeah, maybe in 4 days you can start moving again. That's when Gon stands up because he just does not want to win this way.
Yep.
So cool. I love that moment.
So awesome. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And so he's, another iconic shot. He's holding the badge up, and Hisoka looks back and says, "I refuse. I'm not gonna take the badge back."
Mm-hmm.
And he, of course, goes up to him and punches him straight in the face and sends him flying. And this is the one thing I think is kind of a downgrade. The punch is not as impactful as it is in 2011, at the very least.
No, there wasn't a ton of swing put into the punch. Was kind of my thing, I think.
It didn't feel that crazy. Like, you see the aftermath, and it's like, okay, well, he's fucked up. But I didn't feel it in the moment, like I did in 2011.
It's more of a minor thing for me, if anything.
Yeah.
It was still effective.
Still minor.
But
oh, yeah. It still works very well. That's even more sold by next episode. Yeah, he licks the blood.
That's new. That's definitely new.
Yeah.
Fitting,
yep.
but,
So Gon is just laying on the floor, and Hisoka's like, "Yep, all right, see ya, man."
Yep,
and leaves.
When you can punch me like that, then I'll take your badge back.
Yes, sir. And then we get a cool ass thing where the next episode preview is narrated by Hisoka. I loved that. That was so sick.
Wasn't that crazy? Like that caught me off guard.
He's like, maybe my precious toy was broken by this, and he just goes on with the whole thing. And the music's different. It's not like upbeat.
Yeah.
Super cool. Good job. So that's episode 23. Loved it. That was my favorite episode of the bunch. I'll just say that now. I really liked it.
Overall, favorite episode, easy. That episode was just incredibly well directed, I think, on like all accounts, from start to finish. I'm confident saying it's just one of the best episodes we've seen, period, of 99 so far.
Yeah, I loved it so much. That was fantastic. I like pretty much every decision that was made there. The only minor nitpick is the punch, but that's it. Everything else, perfect.
Yeah, and again, minor nitpick at that too. That just,
very minor. Yeah.
Great one.
Great job, 99 team. Loved it. Not much to say about it because it was just really, really solid.
Yeah.
Which now brings us to episode 24, Damage, Reunion, Courage.
Yes.
How lovely. So, a lot of filler in this episode.
But that's my favorite part of this entire batch.
Okay. We'll talk about it. So, we have... It's very atmospheric to start with. Like, right off the bat, you can tell, like, okay, they're going for something here.
Yeah, because you see, like, from Gon's perspective, assumingly, of, like, crawling through the grass towards something, right? And, like, that sets the tone for, like, the first, like, little bit of this episode.
Yeah, so that's what he's doing. He's just crawling. He's trying to get by. He's poisoned. He's just trying to live. He gets to a tree, and he starts eating bark.
Yeah, poor guy.
Poor guy. That doesn't work, so he pukes.
Yeah, dude, God. Poor kid. I would hate to be in that situation, man.
It's rough. It sure is rough. And so he's just kind of broken here. He's feeling like, he's beat, like
physically and mentally. Yeah,
he's just totally spent. And well, I'll talk about whenever this is all over. But so he's like, I'm so cold, and this is a moment I really enjoy. He says, I'm so cold, and then he flashes back to a little Mito moment, which is lovely. This is a very lovely moment.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this so much.
Yeah, this is fantastic. So, a little moment here where he's getting into bed with Mito and just saying like, "Oh, I love you," classic stuff. And he just kind of like hugs her in bed.
Very sweet. Like, very caring.
He says she's so warm, and then obviously contrast to now where he's cold as hell.
Yeah, it flashes back to the present, and with a tear in his eye as he's crying, remembering Mito, just wanting her. Oh my god, so sweet. Yeah,
super sweet moment there. Also very sad.
Yeah, very. So he's all alone here, all cold. When he used to be warm, right?
Yep. It's it drives that. This is something we talked to Hadrigon about how the ending is always reminding you of Mito, like where the journey started.
Yeah.
And this is very much that. We're remembering that Gon kind of gave up a normal life for what he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure in some capacity he's kind of debating with himself, like, is it worth it? Like, is this what I want?
Yeah, yeah.
Which, we'll get to. But so the rest of the episode really is just, or this part of the episode is him at various points in this depressing mental journey, seemingly over the course of a few days, where he's just struggling. He's like screaming. He could barely sleep. He's just getting by. He's thinking back to the moment with Hisoka. He's frustrated.
There was a part specifically that really like drove it home for me, I think, as like this part of this batch of episodes being my favorite part. Was when he was talking about how let me go to like what he was actually saying, but like it was basically him like like crying and like just trying like just debating with himself. And he eventually talks about how like he always has somebody taking care of him like before this, and like he always had like people to like help him and like lean back on, right? And so he's frustrated because he wants to be able to do like these things by himself and like be able to do something on his own, right? Not have to rely on others, which I think is very, very it's very cool contextual like thoughts coming from Gon himself, considering what happens much later in the series in the manga, right? Where that's his ultimate downfall, is like him focusing too much on himself, not letting other people be there for him in the first place, and not thinking about others as a result of that selfishness that he develops, right? And so just like having that be contextualized in like a very emotional moment for Gon is something I just really enjoyed watching unfold here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we'll talk about it soon. But so I'm not as hot on it as you are. You can probably already gather that. But
I've very much already gathered that, and I don't understand it. I'm just going to put
We'll
that out there now.
We'll get there. So, yeah, we're kind of at the end of this whole thing. He's on his feet again. Well, there's also a scene before that where he gets up for a little bit and just kind of throws himself into the lake or a river.
Yep.
Oh, and the animals bring him berries. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, that was so cute. But
so yeah, he's back on his feet. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe it was that 4 days that Hisoka said. I don't really know. It's not exactly clear. But he opens his bag and he sees the hunter license that Kaige gave him from Jing's hunter license. And that's a reminder. Like, yeah, I'm doing this. I know why I want to do it. Keep going. But then I guess he doesn't quite make up his mind, because then he just kind of sits and stares at the badges for like an entire day also. Because he's, it's that, obviously the whole mental struggle of this, the thing we all know, he doesn't like the fact that Hisoka let him have this. It's right. Frustrating to him. He was given a win for free. So, trying to figure out what to do. Like, do I take these and pass, or do I just kind of like take the loss? And his thoughts aren't explicitly said, but he could be thinking about maybe just kind of giving up and forgetting about this whole thing, going home. Maybe he's not cut out for it.
Right.
We kind of end on vague. We don't see him make a decision.
But it's implied though, because like it's like he sees like the one like bunny or whatever come up to him. He's like, "Oh, you're all alone too," and then it like pans up and there's actually like way more behind him. He's like, "Oh no, you have friends too. I miss mine." I thought that was sweet.
Yeah.
But then
so that's the whole half of the episode that was just that filler stuff. Which, so go ahead and talk first, Dylan, because you loved it. So what do you think?
I thought it was great. Like I don't see any reason as to like why this like detracts from anything personally, because I feel like it just more explicitly shows where Gon's emotional state is at this current point. And I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. And I think after like exploring like him trying to come to terms immediately after the aftermath with Hisoka is something that like I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And I think it really adds to that entire like plot line almost like going forward into Heaven's Arena later down the line and kind of adding more stakes to that battle as a result, right? So I don't know, and I just love seeing more of Gon's emotional journey showcased in these earlier arcs, especially. I think that's something that adds a lot to the Hunter exams. So I actually really like this edition, and I don't really have any complaints with it at all, personally. I'm curious as to why you do, because I don't really see it personally.
Well, to me, then it's not like I hate this. I don't. I think it's fine and good. I was definitely focused while watching this. Like, it was pretty engaging. I really like, the visual storytelling of this thing here. But what I don't like about it is how it kind of... So this is the classic filler thing where we're taking something that is essentially just like 1 or 2 panels and making a whole 10-minute long thing about it. And to me, I didn't need this particular thing to be expanded. And I know that sounds blasphemous in ways because...
That sounds crazy, actually.
I'm all about emotional journeys. I love them. That's like one of my favorite things in stories. But what I like about the manga's showing of Gon's emotional journey after this is that we don't see it. Because that's not who Gon is. He's not the type of person to put his feelings out into the world, which is what we experience. And I'm curious to see how this is handled at the end of the arc, because everything in the manga that he goes through in this moment is implied. We see the one shot of him, face down in the tree. We see it here too, but it's in between a bunch of other stuff. And that's pretty much it. We know he's upset and broken by the fact that he was just given a win. And later on, he's, he confronts Kurapika and them, which, I mean, obviously we'll talk about this more, hopefully next week. I don't know, unless they stay on Zevil Island for like 10 episodes. But it's effective to me because, again, Gon isn't the type of person to show this stuff. And the fact that we see it now makes it feel... It makes me feel a certain way. It's not something I can exactly explain because I've never seen filler like this. I've never seen a filler do like its own emotional journey, like an interpretation of something this important. Because they usually don't like go that far, This is a pretty drastic addition to the story. I respect it. I think it's bold, but I don't think it's better than how the manga did it. That's basically my point. I think not seeing in this case is better than seeing. To me.
Okay. I respect your viewpoint. I think I just disagree, just on a fundamental level, because I think by showcasing that, you kind of allow the viewer to just connect more emotionally with your main character. And I can respect the perception that, like, by not seeing it, it kind of makes it more of like a poignant thing, right? Like, especially like to you, if you're a fan of more like subtle storytelling, especially, right? But I don't think having this kind of be more, because it is more in your face, admittedly, right? But I think that, again, it allows more people to kind of connect with Gon on that emotional level by seeing exactly how he's feeling be like laid out in front of you, right? And I don't think it's really goes against his character either, because like you said, and like you mentioned, and you are correct on this, Gon isn't the type of person to kind of like put his feelings out there. But he's still not putting his feelings out there in this scene, I'd say, because he's all alone here.
Yeah, but he's putting it out there to us, the audience, which is also something Togashi is very careful to never show or allow happen.
I don't even know if I agree with that. Just based off of like all the various like on various other occasions that he's had. Like, think of like the Phantom Troop flashback especially. Like, and
later.
Just like
yeah.
Later,
after
yes.
he's developed, which is what happens at the end of Zevil Island. He opens up for the first time ever to Kurapika.
But I don't think it's a bad thing to showcase something when I don't... What's the harm of showcasing this is my question to you.
And that's exactly what it boils down to. There is no harm. I don't think this is harmful. I just think it's not as good as the source material. I prefer how the source material handles it more. I think this is saying the quiet part out loud, which is not something I'm generally a fan of in storytelling. And this is like 10 minutes of that. And it's good. I like it, but it's just too much. I don't know.
I can't agree with that, man. I think like I feel like I connected more with like, being a fan of Hunter x Hunter prior to this. I feel like I connected with him more after watching just like the sweetness of that contrasting with how alone he felt in that moment, and just kind of like leading into what we'll be exploring with Gon's character going forward for the next little bit. I really enjoyed it personally, and I think it helps me connect with him more than I did before. That's my take.
Wow. That's high-ass praise. That is actually insane.
And that's why it's my favorite moment of this batch. I really, really loved it.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad this is, we disagreed about the filler last time, and I'll disagree about it again, I guess.
I guess so.
It's, yeah, I don't, again, though, I do not hate this by any stretch of the imagination. I like the source material better by a lot. And that's fine. There can be two different things. We got 2011, and they did it the way the manga did it. So we're good.
I'm fine with either version. I
exists.
don't know. Yeah, I really liked it. I don't know. Nothing more to say, really.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not like it rubbed me the wrong way. I don't think it's like character assassination or anything at all. It's fine. I just don't like seeing it. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. I've said enough about it. Maybe we'll talk more about it with the comments. We'll see. But real quick, the rest of the episode, we got Killua finally in Zevil Island. The Amori brothers are gooning around or clowning around. I can't say gooning anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, be careful.
That's new. But though I don't know their names. Sorry, guys. But the youngest one is stalking Killua, and he's all scared. He's like,
he's very bad at it too. Stalking
he sucks.
Yeah,
because Killua knows where he is the entire time. So the other brothers come up, and Killua's already found him at that point. So he just waves at them, and they wave back, and they're like, "Oh, what the hell am I doing?"
Funny moment, yeah.
That was very funny. They're about to beat up the younger brother when he's like, "Well, wait, guys, I just didn't want to kill him because he's a kid.
Yeah,
wait a minute,
yeah,
come on." And then I love it because they're both just like, this fucking guy, he's always doing this.
I just believe him immediately.
So then he kicks Killua, goes flying. Oh, man, that's it. He's dead.
Kid. Yeah.
Got him.
I got you right on your solar plexus.
What the hell? Who says that?
Yeah.
If I ever get in a fight, I'll be sure to use that move and credit the Amori brothers.
Leo Dog, write that down.
So Killua gets right back up, of course, and he also took the guy's badge. And he's
I always ask myself, when the hell did he snag that badge during that encounter? Like,
it doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't, but I think about it literally all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he just did it.
Yeah, true.
So, his name's Umori. There you go. He just Umori's the youngest one. So he has Umori's badge, and he's like, damn, this is like one number off from the one I need, so maybe one of the other brothers has it. And then they try to do their whole fancy thing. They're trying to aura farm. And it's kind of cool because they have like this snap moment where there's a lot of implied history there. Like, oh yeah, they probably do this all the time. But they suck, so whatever. Killua just sees right through it and gets one of them
drops down from a tree and just like immediately brings him to his knees, nails out.
Nails out to the throat. He's like, all right, I'll kill him. Just give me your badges. Let's move on.
Just let it go, bro. It's over.
Yeah. And I love how the brother that's being, at knife point is depicted because his eyes are just like focused right on the nail. And he looks so scared. Like, oh my God. He is about to die and he knows it.
Meanwhile, Killua has like the cat face the entire time after this.
Killua does the cat face. He gets the badge. It's the one he needs.
Yep.
He's like, thanks. And that's it.
He's like, well, what am I going to do with these other two badges? And he just yeets them in opposite directions.
Yep. Just throws them. And then
He's like, yeah, no, you guys can
Hanzo.
find that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Then Hanzo goes after the one that he believes to be the one he needs, but it's not.
And
we
I
get an
love how his
amazing-
face is grown here.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
And the entire time during this as well, every time it's close up on his face, his head is like shining off of
shining, glimmering,
it.
beautiful.
99 loves accentuating his baldness, and I respect it a lot.
I love it. I love it.
And then
meanwhile,
see the Tompa.
oh, go ahead. Yes, the other badge goes flying and knocks them down. Tompa and Monkey Man, and
that is the actual last time we will see them, I think, in the series.
I would unless there's some filler with him, but
maybe, but
can't count them out quite yet, I suppose.
no, but they're chilling.
Yep. And then we have set up for what will be the next batch pretty much for the rest of the episode, but Kurapika and Leorio are like, damn, we got 1 day left. I gotta find Ponzu or I'm done for.
My princess, as you call her.
Yeah, my princess. And then Gon drops out of the trees. Well, first they go up to the starting area to just see if she's there, and she's not. And then Gon drops out of the trees because he was also there. And he's like, oh, I can like smell her. She smells like chemicals, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also, there's this part where it's almost implied that he didn't pick up the badges, but I'm sure he did. Because they ask him, like, oh, did you get your badge? And he's like, well, kinda. And it flashes back to the badges, like, laying on the ground in the grass. I'm assuming it's just pointing out the moment where he had to choose rather than, like, oh, I left them in the grass. But
yeah.
it's a little confusing because we never see him pick them up.
Well, probably also just referencing as well, though, that, like, is like, did you get the badges? And he's like, yeah, kind of, because, like, he didn't actually, like, earn the badges.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I'm saying, like, them adding the scene of them showing the badges in the grass is a little confusing because you can interpret that as the present.
Right. Fair enough.
But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there will be some filler moment where he has to go back and pick them up. I don't know. We're not done yet. Because apparently it's 36 episodes long somehow. So,
insane.
God almighty. Dude, how? So they're smelling for Ponzu, and they eventually find a cave where she's supposedly at. Leoria's like, all right, I got to go in by myself. I'm a manly man. I got this shit. This is my job, my responsibility.
Yeah.
They're
Kurapika and going
like,
on
all right.
cabinet, though.
Yeah, no, we're giving you 30 minutes and we'll come in there. Which 30 minutes, man, holy
That's
hell.
a long time.
If I was with a friend here, I'd give him like 5.
Yeah,
30?
5 minutes and I'm walking in. Like,
yeah, what the hell are you thinking with 30 minutes? What's he need 30 minutes in there for? But sure.
maybe it's a very large cave.
Maybe. But eventually, after they're waiting, Leorio calls out. He's like, Gon, Kurapika, do not come in here. Do not, don't do it, don't.
Code red,
And
code red.
then they run in.
And the series ends off with, or that's not the series.
The series,
Yeah.
This is it.
This is it, guys. No, the episode ends off showing Leorio on the ground with a bunch of snakes surrounding him.
Snakes. With Ponzu and the Snake Charmer. Former roommates.
Yeah, former roommates.
And current roommates, evidently.
Yeah. They got along well, evidently.
Yeah. Cool. Wait a minute. I just watched the next episode preview. What the fuck?
Oh, I didn't.
Did you see this?
I didn't actually. No. What is it?
Tompa. He's fighting a guy. What the fuck?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, that's so fun. I can't wait.
What is gonna happen? What?
Well,
Okay,
the Rookie Crusher lives on, guys.
All right, we're not done with Tompa.
Tompa fighting in
Let's
Zevil
go,
Island.
bro. I can't wait.
That's awesome. Holy little tease.
Okay, so that's episode 24. What will happen to our heroes next time? I don't know.
How will
What'd you
Tompa
say?
get involved?
Yes, what will happen to Tompa next week is the bigger question.
Yeah, that's what's on my mind now.
Wow. So yeah, you're definitely more hot on the episode. I thought it was great. Still, I prefer the manga.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. I still think that 25 overall was the or not 25, Jesus, 23. 23 was the better episode overall, in terms of just like content and pacing and animation, direction, yada yada. But this first half of this episode is just like I really love it. I really connected with it, I think. So, this whole batch was just really good in general. I think it was a fantastic batch to watch through.
Yeah, this was a really good batch. I thoroughly enjoyed all 3 episodes. Really, I guess the first one was the weakest, but I mean, it's still good.
Yeah.
And some interesting filler, some good filler. Pretty
More
much
filler coming up, maybe.
Evidently, well, very clearly, yes, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, super solid. Not much to say. I mean, honestly, just I stated my case already on the going stuff. I'm curious to see if anybody in the comments agrees with me and has a better articulated version of what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority. We'll find out, like Dylan did last week with the filler.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's Caige's turn to be crucified.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think I guess we're just kind of ready to move into community comments then, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it. I think we stated our case on these episodes already. So let's go ahead and see what you guys have to say.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, now it's time to hear what you guys have to say about Hunter x Hunter 99 episodes 22 through 24. Usual reminder, if you want to get in on the fun discussing any given topic week to week, make sure that you keep an eye out for the YouTube community posts, as well as the call-out posts on Twitter and Bluesky. And of course, if you're an audio-only listener with no access to social media whatsoever, you can always email us at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com. So, no Twitter or Bluesky responses to read today, on that note. But we have YouTube comments, plenty to go through here. And this first one actually is, as a heads up, related to the Kite retrospective that we had, just last week. So, this first comment will be related to that. The rest of these comments that we'll read after will be related to today's topic, which is Hunter x Hunter 99. Just a heads up there. So this comment on Kite is from Weary Exile, saying, "It's a bit weird, but I'm pretty sure I left a comment on Friday for the Kite episode, yet somehow YouTube deleted it, so sorry for writing not about the 99 anime in this one, my dear owl enjoyers. You're forgiven. It's okay."
Yeah, it's fine. YouTube does that. I don't know why.
It's something about like flagging it for something, maybe. I don't know. It's YouTube's weird.
Yeah, let's read and find out. Let's see if we can see what was flagged.
Yeah.
Maybe use the word twink here.
Yeah, as for my favorite mentor, Twink. Good start.
Could have been it.
Maybe. He has always served similar to characters like Shanks and Ace in One Piece, or Jiraiya and Iruka, is that how you say it? In Naruto.
Iruka, yeah.
He is both the catalyst for our protagonist's journey, Shanks/Iruka, biggest loss for the MC, Jiraiya/Ace, as well as a link to a father/inspirational figure of the protagonist, with Kite being student of Jing, similarly how Jiraiya was Minato's teacher and Shanks was Roger's apprentice. Despite me criticizing the way Gon's character arc concluded, and so far it was its conclusion, unless Togashi decides/has enough health to ever return to writing about Gon, I still really enjoyed everything Kite had to offer. He is incredibly drippy, true, looking like a true Grim Reaper with that scythe. He is so sick with it.
Indeed.
That we cannot deny. He is strong, outclassing most of the Phantom Troop, or PT, Phantom Troop doofuses when it comes to Nen mastery. Seeing how he was called a Nen master with almost 50 radius N. Yeah, I don't know if we ever touched on that topic.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about his N.
His N is huge.
It's cracked out, yeah.
Yeah,
it's like some of the best in the series.
That's the reason why, he sensed Pito the same time Pito sensed him.
Yeah.
They're equivalent amount there, or distance, I guess. Meanwhile, jobbers like Finks and others couldn't even maintain a 5-meter radius, even without distractions. Why do you gotta harp on Finks? Like
yeah, come on.
What did he do, man?
Nothing.
Being the one and only student of Jing, which should also make him a Tiger Star, right, Kaige? Smiley face.
That's a deep cut. Wow.
I don't get it. I don't get this. But...
It's a miracle I even do. I just a while back. I don't even remember what episode that was, but I was trying to say triple star hunter, but for whatever reason, I accidentally said tiger star.
Oh, that's an early episode. I feel like
I think that's a really early one. Damn. Wow. Thanks.
Deep cut. Wow.
That's a deep cut.
1-star hunter, being that a requirement for becoming a double-star hunter, which Jing is, training a student that receives 1 star himself. Yeah. The only reason he even lost his arm was due to him sharing a voice actor with the rat.
Oh my god, I didn't talk about that either.
That should have been a trivia fact.
It should have been.
Wow.
I didn't think about that.
That's awesome.
Obviously very intentional.
Yeah, obviously.
Very intentional casting.
I'm really hoping that Togashi returns to mainland in the probable Gyro arc and explores Kite's character more. Yeah, we've talked about that even in the Kite retrospective, how that could all tie together quite nicely. Mm-hmm. Not only can he become a proper teacher to Gon, but also imagine his own current Nen potential. Blood's got Chimera and biology, higher ceiling for Nen, all of his memories of training with the best milk hunter of the verse, as well as possible post-mortem Nen boosts from the slot that reincarnated his soul into the twin of the Ant King. Yeah, there's so much potential.
It's a lot we talked about in the episode.
Depending on if aging is still boosted at a certain point also, yeah, Kite could easily get to becoming one of the best hunters in the world. If Nen were to be relearned, obviously. That's kind of dependent on that, but
if he even can, or if they even can.
Yeah.
No.
That's the thing. Just so many variables, like we talked about in the retrospect. Go check it out if you're want to see more in-depth talks about that. I was really proud of that episode, so yeah, please go check it out if you haven't already. Also, perhaps misplaced, but because Kite is the connecting tissue to Jing, I like to view X in the manga's title as him connecting Hunter Gon to Hunter Jing.
Aw.
That's a sweet little thing. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
Making this Gon, Kite, Jing story. Wait, why does this sound so wrong?
Well.
Maybe that's why it's called Hunter x Hunter instead.
That is a very nice sentiment, though. I actually love that a lot, and that's also how I'm going to view it from now on.
Yeah, that's just incredible.
Kite is the X.
Yeah, Kite is the glue. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Love
that. That is beautiful. Thank you for that comment, Weirexile. I wish it had made it into last week's episode. But regardless, thank you.
Happy to have gotten you in here, at least.
Yes. Okay, now on to comments about episodes 22 to 24 of 99. Starting with Xander. It says, nothing too different here. I beg to differ, but it feels redundant to repeat every week, but I love the colors here, especially during sunset moments. Absolutely.
Sunsets always look good in these episodes.
I also wanted to note that I really liked the lighting, actually. I thought it was pretty good, these episodes. Yeah. I wonder if Insert Name will have anything to say about it.
Now that I think about it, it was very dark in a lot of the scenes, and I didn't really feel like I had that problem of can't seeing anything. You know,
there's well lit darkness for once, and also very good music a lot of the times.
Yes, yeah.
He continues, some differences I notice when Hisoka confronts Karapika, he reveals that his wood sword thingies are actually real swords. That's cool. It sure fucking is.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
I went from being a Bokon hater to a lover now. That's so cool. Yeah.
Then there's the censorship moment of Hisoka bringing back the black guy's hat instead of his head. LMAO. Hey, his name's Garetta. Put some respect on him.
Garetta,
it's so damn goofy. No, it's awesome. Actually, I love it. You're a hater.
So funny. Yeah. It serves the same function. It's just a little funnier than the.
I like it better. I'm gonna be honest. I will go out on a limb and say I like it better. I think it's awesome.
It's very cool.
But he does say, but it works in its own way with how the butterflies fly around to indicating it that he's been killed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that shot was just very good direction in general. It shows you everything you need to know.
Yep. Gon agonizing after getting Hisoka's badge has also been expanded upon, I believe. Yeah, it sure has been.
Definitely has.
That's an understatement. I like that scene with the animals and the Mito flashback. Me as well.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you, Xander, as always.
Next up, we have from Leo Dog, our
Yo.
resident manga artist here for the Battle for Al.
That's right.
Saying the way Kurapika and Leorio pull out their blades on Hisoka was so dramatic, but I like it though. I like the 2011 soundtrack better. If only I could combine them. I feel like obviously 2011 soundtrack is iconic, yeah, but there is a lot of tracks that are really growing on me from episode to episode.
Oh yeah, me too.
99. I'd like to see a world where those tracks were shared in a series. Hunter x Hunter 2028 or whatever. Note that down, producers, if you're watching this.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also love that moment that we talked a lot about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next is from Tasteless BB60. It says, "Hello, first time commenter, long time viewer. Love to see it. Thank you." Says, I started watching the 1999 anime on my own late last year. I was on episode 22 when you two announced you were starting the anime watch along. Ever since then, I stopped watching the anime and waiting for you guys to catch up to me. Oh my god,
wow.
That is so sweet. Thank you. Aww.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. Whoa.
What an honor. That is so nice of you. Now that you finally have, I can't wait to continue with you guys. Well, welcome aboard.
Welcome.
That's awesome.
The more the merrier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. Episode 22, Funny Monkey.
Absolutely.
I love how 1999 has given the examinees more character. Me too. For example, I don't remember ever feeling this hype for Monkey Man and Funny Monkey in 2011. Me either.
No, yeah, me neither. This is the most I've ever thought about them.
I was popping off. Yeah, they were going crazy mode this episode. This anime adds many minor things to characters that make them feel more qualified to be hunters. It helps the examinees feel like they truly are in the 1 in 1,000 to make the exams and not just random. So true.
That's a good point. Yeah, for sure.
I always felt like the old man that Killua kills in 2011's Phase 5 was just a random death fodder character to continue the story. I'm curious if 1999 will give him more screen time and maybe make us feel bad for him when he bites the dust. Yeah, I'm actually really curious about that too. I kind of hope they do, because that'd be a really good use of filler.
Yeah, because they just skim over that completely, pretty much in all adaptations.
Yeah,
so, curious to see if this changes.
Just total fodder. Episode 23, best Hisoka episode and presentation yet in this anime.
Yep.
So creepy and intimidating. Also, if his bloodlust was a tease to how Nen will be animated in the future, then it's also looking really cool. Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
I am really hoping that's just how Nen looks, because wow, that was awesome.
We cannot praise enough how awesome Hisoka was depicted in that episode.
Yes. That was seriously perfection. I loved that whole sequence so much. Episode 24, I love the cute baby Gon transitioning to the current scared and depressed. Yeah, that was definitely the best moment of that episode, was the little Mito flashback back to the present.
For sure.
The contrast between those really gave me the feels. Love the little things 1999 does to add emotion.
There we go.
Fair enough. Yeah, there you go, Dylan.
People are liking this, Kaige.
Yeah. We'll see how it continues. That's all I have to say about these 3 episodes, but I want to end off saying that I 100% agree with Dylan about the last filler arc. Wow, Dylan, you got one late, but you got one.
Thank you. Thank you so much for validating my opinion. I felt so alone in this.
Yeah. The hotel room swapping episode was a lot of fun, and I loved it, but the boat and storm stuff was boring, and I didn't like it.
Yep.
Like DJ Tengen said, or like Dylan said, I'm sure it would have been different if 1999 was the first adaptation I saw, but because it wasn't, I just saw it as long, boring, try-hard filler with some fun moments.
Thank you so much.
It was the most filler thing I have ever seen. Just wanted to share some support to the unpopular opinion. Thank you too, and have a good day.
You have a better day.
For Dylan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do not feel alone on that take anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, you got one.
Fine.
And thank you again for just jumping in here. I'm excited to have you along, because now we have somebody who also hasn't seen it watching along with us. Everybody else that's been watching along with us, I'm pretty sure they're doing a rewatch. So this is cool.
Yeah.
We have a proper buddy now along for the ride.
always value those different perspectives, right? So
Yes.
this is this is great. Welcome aboard, and hope to have you on for for all these episodes going forward.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, if you're a longtime viewer, listener of the podcast, you know him, you love him. Insert name time. It's time for his comment. I'm very curious for his thoughts on some of these episodes moments.
Me too.
To begin with, they really chose to have like 90% of the events at night. Yeah,
But they did a good job. Come on, you got to admit it.
we could see everything, and that's what matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Episode 22. I hate the sound of the butterflies. Oh, well, there you go, Kaige.
Hey, insert name. You're like my brother.
How are they making that noise? What part of butterfly anatomy is capable of making that sound? Is it the proboscis? It would be really weird if it used wings. Is it the legs?
Could be the legs. I think that's a valid theory.
Like it's
It's
a
like
cricket
a
or
grasshopper.
Yeah.
A cricket, sorry.
I don't know, but the way Hisoka and Illumi talk over the phone reminds me of all the girls talking over the phone in 80s music gossiping.
Fitting.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's like the same vibe, right? So.
It is, yeah.
The music when Kurapika kicks Tompa is pretty great, nice and jazzy. Interesting contrast to the more comical tone in 2011, which has like a ticking clock sound. Definitely trying to add another scene to the Kurapika hype horror moments playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get the feeling more and more now, like they're pivoting almost from like, Leorio aura farming to just like all in on Kurapika. Like that's the feeling I'm getting now. But
I mean, Leorio got the mooch off of Kurapika's aura here, at least, by pulling out his knife.
he got a bone at least, yeah, true.
Yeah.
The Beyonu Warriors thing feels really weird when the previous arc just showed a World War II battleship.
Ha ha ha.
You're telling me you're worth 1,000 warriors when you live in a world with a fucking battleship and you believe that shit? Don't get me wrong, weird in all versions, but the contrast here is so great.
So true.
Oh my god. He's just...
That was such the weirdest edition of all time. But
Beyonu Warriors.
why not?
Well,
I'm a Beyonu warrior. Fuck it.
we're all a Beyonu warrior.
That's right.
A lot of great Illumi scenes in this episode. 1999 has some phenomenal backgrounds, whether it be skies or just general settings for their scenes. It's part of the reason I dislike the shadows. You've got such a wonderful backdrops that stop covering them up. Illumi benefits greatly from this here. Illumi versus Spear Dude and Cyper has such a cool setting. Put some respect on Goze's name, man.
That's right.
Yeah. I love the waterfall and circumstances for the encounter. And circumstances for the encounter are so much cooler in 1999. Cyper hunting Illumi as he is hunting his target is such a fun way to show others taking a similar path as going to their hunt. And Illumi hiding in the water reflection is sick. It's so much cooler to tie the two kills Illumi gets together than to leave it separate like 1999. And the action shot through the scope is magnificent. Yep, I love that shot a lot.
Yes, so cool.
1999 has some real legends of animation working on it, and that's a great example. Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Similarly, Hisoka versus Spear Dude benefits from the sundown clash.
Yes.
The colors really like popped for that one. In 1999, they just put a color filter on it, and it's just so much worse. For better or for worse. Oh wait, hold on, huh? Oh, you're saying the sundown makes it better than it would be otherwise? I'm a little confused. I'll keep reading though.
Keep reading.
For better or for worse, 1999 teams seem to be really playing with shadow and lighting and time of day, and here it works. Okay, you're praising it then. Okay, I was confused.
Maybe you meant to say 2011.
I think he meant to say 2011. That's how I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here it works. It provides contrast and shadow to the designs, emphasizes passage of time, and provides a beautiful sky backdrop to the scene. Sure, some wide shots have voids of darkness, but altogether it works. It's an artistic showcase of using unique lighting environments. The action is a little too static, using mostly emphasis lines to get the point across, though it's done nicely enough with a still shot of moving rocks. It's fine. Yeah, I have pretty much the same thoughts overall. Illumi's reintroduction is great, with the needles colliding with the spear guy's face being so expressive, like he punched him and he was made of Play-Doh. I'm not a big fan of hearing Illumi's voice come out of that face. Much prefer the way 2011 does it, where it's a different voice till Illumi becomes fabulous again. Yeah.
Maybe I was like, I might have been just mixing up memories of 2011 and 99. So
You
I
might
was
be,
like, oh
because
yeah, there's certainly a different voice.
Because that's what threw me off also. I didn't really talk about it, but like in 2011, like the Geeta Rocker form, like his voice was like very like deep from what I remember it being. And then it went to like the boyish voice that Illumi has after he transformed. But like it was just a more feminine voice the entire time. And so it threw me completely off guard because that's like the exact opposite end of the spectrum as I expected from Geeta Rocker. Yeah, the sound effect of Illumi transforming is 100% balloons deflating, being rubbed on each other, and a few metal pieces being smashed together. Interesting Foley choices.
I thought it was sick.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool too. The way Kurapika and Leorio deal with Sunny across versions is really bizarre to me. Oh, Sami, the monkey guy, I think.
Yeah, Monkey Man.
Monkey Man. In the manga, it's done off-screen in between panels. Okay, so that's what it was in the manga.
Okay.
Yeah. Off-screen in between panels. In 2011, Kurapika picks up the monkey and then blackmails the trainer. Ultimately tying both him and the monkey up, never to be seen again. 1999, as usual, gives Leorio more to do in this fight, making the capture of the monkey dude more of a collaborative effort, which I like. Not a big fan of the alpha stuff, though. Weird inclusion. Yeah, how Kurapika's all like, oh, or Leorio's like, oh, you're not the alpha anymore, so he listens to Kurapika. I remember that line specifically. When you could have just not said that and just have it imply like, yeah, hey, good hunter. Animals like them, right?
Right.
But it is what it is. It's whatever. At least Leorio had something to do, like you said.
Yeah. Do you want to split up this comment?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Episode 23, Hisoka is really goofy in this episode. He really be swinging those hands back and forth while he runs like he's skating. I love it. Then you have the scary clown face looping scene. It's certainly entertaining, just not in the intimidating way. A bit too goofy. Wow, I completely disagree with you in every single way. Like, wow.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic work, personally.
Yeah, I no complaints at all, actually. I've been agreeing with you on Hisoka points usually, insert name, but no, I thought they nailed it there. Greta's little respect is a beneficiary of the filler, and you do feel more for him when he's cut down.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely better in this version. Hisoka wearing his hat is very funny, a very funny, whimsical moment I can get behind, though. Yes, I love it so much.
No, it was good, for sure.
I'm not really a huge fan of the tonfa being secretly swords. The boken, I mean.
Boken. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
It's nice for a hype moment showing his resolve to kill, but I don't think it necessarily matches. That said, the sheen of the blade is so nice that I can get why people would prefer this. Exactly. Yes, thematically, it kind of doesn't make sense for him, but man,
it just looks
cool.
badass.
It's so cool.
It's so funny how like you can look past things like that when like things just look cool.
It's just, oh my god, it's just, I cannot get enough of it. It's so sick.
Yeah, especially in animation. Like, I don't know, like that. If it looks cool, I'm gonna like it more. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. I hesitate to say this since it's moderately a spoiler, but I think y'all will have figured it out. What's your thoughts on this general look for auras? Okay. Yeah. So this is what an end looks like, but yeah, we
figured, yeah, for sure.
It will modify a bit, but this is the basic blueprint for what they will look like. Similar to how the purple miasma, is that a word?
Oh,
miasma?
Yeah, for Ren. So like that's like the more like wavy like form of aura. I think.
Okay, right. Ren in 2011. I'll have more to say as to my thoughts on it when you get to Heaven's Arena, but I'd love to hear your initial impressions. I love it.
Yeah, I think
really love it.
It looks cool in its own little way. I think it's definitely a lot more like, because like 2011 animates it kind of as more like a natural like flow state kind of thing, right? But and obviously they don't show it off, or they don't really. Yeah, they don't show it off like this early. Also, I'm curious to see what it would look like in motion with like abilities and such. But Yeah, like it looks a lot more static in this regard in 99, but I really dig it. I think it really gets the point across, and it just looks cool. So I have no complaints.
I will say though, like 2011's depiction of it is definitely more faithful to the source material, and I love it
Yes.
for that too. It looks. I love the aura in 2011. Who doesn't? But I think it's really cool here. I like how it's like. It feels more like a heat signature kind of deal. Like
Yeah, it's very bright.
It's. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I won't like it more later. I don't. We'll see. But as of now, I think it's cool.
Yeah, good. First impressions are good right now. I
Yeah.
do want to see it like in motion, like with like other like accompanying stuff though.
Yeah, absolutely. Comparing the two auras is the in the comparable scenes through the aura here is fine. It just holds no candle to 2011's depiction of this scene. Disagree. Big time. They went so extra with the art style changes, color, and a pulsating miasma of force around him, not to mention the music. Well, I'll give you the music, yeah.
Okay, the music was really good in 2011. Yeah.
Yeah. They went so extra with the art style changes, color, and a pulsating miasma of force around him, not to mention the music. Wait, did I just read the same sentence?
You read it twice.
Oh.
It's been a long recording. Can you guys tell?
Whoops. Here we see just a response in Gon and Hisoka lit up like a neon sign. Man, you are underselling the hell out of this. His face looks a bit more cringy here, bro.
You're gonna make Kaige
like
crash out.
I do like the rubbery cracking sounds they gave to his movements. He also pulses like a contracting muscle. Yes, is that not the coolest shit in the world? But ultimately, he seems too in control. We're done. We're done, man.
We're done.
You're misinterpreting the scene. I will defend 99 with my life here. I'll put my honor on the line, okay? You're misinterpreting the scene. Fight me.
Yeah.
He's too sound of mind for my taste. Nope.
In a way, I do kind of get what you're getting at, because like I think there's some moments within that scene where like, you know, maybe you could like exaggerate his movements even more because like it feels like maybe he's a little too in control. Like I can kind of see that, but I don't know. This is just a great scene. I disagree as well personally.
And don't get me wrong, I love how 2011 does it too. It definitely. Like, this goes back to just how the two different versions portray Hisoka. It's different. Yes, it is very different. You're like, in 99's version of the scene, you are very clearly seeing, okay, this is 99 Hisoka. But this is also the most Hisoka has felt like Hisoka in 99 so far. And I don't know, man. I just really, really like what they did. It's not perfect. Honestly, no, it is. It's perfect. I love it. I really love it. I don't know. I don't have any complaints about it whatsoever. I thought it was done really well. Different, yes, but good also, yes. Big time.
Yeah, two kings can coexist, right? Is that
That's
kind
right.
of what we're getting at? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I really like this version, but I respect the take. Insert name.
I respect it marginally.
Yeah, no, you guys are gonna have to fight over that. That was the closest you've ever gotten into crashing out on a podcast episode. Okay, moving on to his thoughts on episode 24, though. Gon in episode 24. This batch contains a bunch of interactions with Gon. In some ways, I've grown to like, even though I do feel the portrayal of Gon in the Hunter exams of 1999 distinctly misses the mark in total. Big picture.
Here we go.
Yeah, big picture. 1999 doesn't really convey the eerie positivity I expect of Gon. Gon to me has always been about the contrast of the subtext of Gon's actions with a childlike, overly chipper attitude in his actions. He seems way too well adjusted to the point I don't see him as a response to the childlike protagonists of the era, such as Goku. A good case here would be when he shows slightly too much sentimentality when he helps out the paralyzed contestant. It just lingers on it too long. Whereas in 2011, it's quick, snappy, and he cheerfully exclaims he hopes the guy has better luck next year. Here he expresses and thinks more, which doesn't convey the head empty part of Gon's character. He just feels more subdued.
You're so right.
I can agree with that scene specifically. I don't think it detracts that much for me personally. Like I didn't really feel like it like lingered on for that long, even in this version. But I can see the take for sure.
You're winning me over again, insert name. I think we're back on good terms.
My notes on episode 24 were initially a little too colored by some later stuff that pissed me off and a general dislike of changing Gon's character. I've since changed my opinion, but no, there's a version of this that's more expletive than substance.
I want to see that version.
Maybe he saved it somewhere. I can send it to you.
Maybe. Email it to me.
I think the big change to the story during this section is the way it portrays Gon in the aftermath of the Hisoka interaction. I think it adds a lot of texture to the story and expands upon a single panel in the manga in a great way. Though the minute they have Gon talk, I have some major qualms. Okay.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, let's go.
His struggle to get to the tree and his bodily reaction to the drugs in his system provides weight and backdrop to the general mood of the scene, this is Gon at his lowest point. It simultaneously shows an impenetrable will and a Gon failing in the face of his limits. It feels laborious and dramatic and genuinely disheartening to see. It feels brutal. Yeah, it definitely does. The way he eats the bark with his face in the dirt and eventually vomits elicits a visceral response in me. Yeah, same. Like that, it set the tone for that half of the episode. Medea is real only in so much as it can elicit a response in the view.
Dylan?
It's been a long
Wow.
It's been a long day. No. You don't get to... When you read a sentence twice in a row, like when you spend like 5 seconds discussing it, you don't get to call me out on this.
Alright, that's fair.
Media is real only in so much as it can elicit a response in the view, and 1999 is certainly effective at doing so. The basal hollow of a tree is a great setting for the scene, providing an ambiance and contrast as the events go on, whether it be to the night or the rising sun. The Mito flashback creates a sense of escapism and yearning for a safer, happier time that contrasts well with the scene and expands that emotional tether between the characters. Ultimately, Gon's frustration is a more defined emotion here. Had this been a silent scene, I'd be perfectly happy. But the minute Gon vocalizes his insecurity, it just feels wrong. For one, I think the bottling of these emotions is a more effective narrative device serving as an emotional bomb that's allowed to go off when he eventually has his Karapika talk.
There we go. That's my goat.
Okay. But I can't accept the what have I been doing here line. Gon feeling inadequate is fine, but Gon is aware of his successes. He just got Hisoka's badge. He was a significant factor, even in his reduced 1999 in almost every stage. Gon feeling like he didn't deserve to pass this test is understandable, but he wouldn't doubt his very being here. It feels like they are playing down Gon as a character to the audience and not understanding Gon's ambition and resolve. Ultimately, I feel the focus on this, with the loss of other elements, creates an imbalance in the identity of Gon in this adaptation that I feel comes to a head as we go further. Okay. I will give credit in that this was better articulated than your thoughts, Kaige. I'm sorry, but
Oh no shit. Yeah. This is what I was thinking. I was really hoping this is exactly what I was hoping for in certain name. I was specifically hoping you agreed with me because I knew you would be able to explain it way better than I could, and you did. Okay. And you touched on something that I really wanted to bring up, but I forgot to whenever we were talking about it, in that I really liked it. I was on board with this episode exactly until Gon started talking. I loved it as just a silent look into how, what Gon's doing in this moment. Because, we don't see that in the manga. But what we also don't get in the manga is his thoughts. If we just saw more of his physical struggle with no thoughts, perfect. But we get to see in his head, and that's not something we're allowed to see in the manga. So they're adding a whole new layer here that never existed in the first place. And it's also probably not really what he was thinking about in the manga. It's a different struggle, and I don't like it.
Okay. When you put it that way, I'm a little more on board with the take, for sure. And I want to make it clear as well. My absolute favorite part of this half of the episode was just like the physical struggle and like the flashback scene and to him crying and all that.
But that's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, yes, but like it felt like it lasted way longer with how like the tension was. So I have to give it kudos still.
Yeah.
It felt like it was going on for like half of an episode that entire time. Anyways, and then even with I will still give some credit though in that like even with him talking, I still feel like the actual depiction and what was happening and like the visualization of everything was still like spot on stuff. But when talking about specifically the what he's talking about and how that relates to how his character should be portrayed in that moment in time, I have a better grasp on what you're saying now, and I can agree to some extent for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad you can see the perspective.
However, I'm still
so
very
glad
high
in
on this
certain
episode in general.
Fair.
Fair. I emotionally connected with a lot. I'm a very emotional person at heart, so like I'm gonna be biased towards things like that, even if it kind of is more, even if it should be more like subdued, I guess, like for storytelling purposes.
Yeah. So moral of the story, insert name. Your opinion on episode 23 sucks, but your opinion on 24 is amazing, and thank you for helping me articulate my opinion better. You got my head where I wanted it to be. I think I couldn't get myself there earlier, but you set me on track. Thank you. I defended my point better this time. Thank you. And I am very excited and curious to see how the Kurapika discussion does go. Hopefully next time we discuss this.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if like future events will maybe make me look back on this episode in particular and see it in a worser light. Like I'm kind of curious on that now too, because it seems like you seem to be implying that as we go on with 99, it's only going to get worse with Gon's portrayal. So
yeah,
curious about that.
All right, thank you as always. Insert name. Next up, Magitech 09 back again. Says
this is actually our last comment of the day, by the way.
Yes. Sorry, this is the last comment. We're splitting it in half though. So this, comes from Magitech. Magitech. He says, I thought I'd start this comment by continuing with what somebody said last time about translations. You guys already know that 99 gave Latin America French Hisoka, but in 2011, Hisoka is voiced by Frieza from Dragon Ball Z.
Whoa.
Please keep all of this in mind when you hear him moaning for Gon. Love it. That's
awesome.
Great. That's fantastic. Okay, time for more episodes. 2022.
2022.
It's late. It's late.
It is late. Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Medea. Or what did you say?
I said Medea. I was persona burned in that moment, I think.
That's awesome. Okay. 2022. No big changes here, but there are some funny moments. Glad to see that Leorio is also a master of the throwing fork. The same. Another thing he and Kurapika have in common in this version. Oh yeah, because remember Kurapika threw the fork at that spider in the second.
Oh,
episode.
he did. Yeah. What's up with forks in this show?
Ah, wow, they love them.
Whoa.
Speaking of, hail Kurapika, the new king of monkeys. Also, I think this is the only version where the monkey has a name. Really? Wow.
Is that true?
I don't know.
I wonder if that's true, actually.
I don't know how to feel about Kamuri's sudden betrayal, but I don't think it's something one's meant to think too deep about. Yeah, I mean, ultimately it doesn't matter. That character's never going to come back, so like
yeah,
whatever.
He went off with the other monkeys, and that's that.
Yeah,
so.
lovely. Going to go inside, again, not much, but I'd like to point out that in this version, when he attends Q, we actually see that water source Pokel mentioned last episode.
The guy that...
Oh, the guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And it wasn't very close. I don't know if he
it was like a
actually
mile
could have made it
away
over there. Yeah, like, damn. Also, I'm happy to see that Go's giving Gon an unintentional haircut is consistent in all versions. Me too.
Yeah.
That's good. Speaking of, Go's gets a bit of background here. It's not much, but Hisoka listening to someone's desperate reasons and being boringly indifferent is very in character. Yeah.
Yeah, he monologued, and it's always like, don't care. You're dead.
Yeah. Going to Ilumi, which of the two transformations you guys think is better? I'll go with 99. 2011 is good, but it's a bit too fluid, and Ilumi remains static the whole way through. Here, it feels more sudden and forceful, like you really need Zoldyck levels of pain tolerance to pull off. I'm inclined to agree. Yeah, I like 99's version a
Yeah,
little more.
I think they're both close, to be fair.
Mhm.
But, 99 I think
Yeah.
I'll go with.
They're
even
both
if it's
pretty
not a recency bias.
similar, but 99 just has a little more edge to it,
Yeah.
which I like. Also, any thoughts on Ilumi's voice? We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of love how his voice remains the same, even when in Gitaraka mode. I really think I was just like having a weird fusion memory of 2011.
Yeah.
It's interesting how that
when
happens.
you said that, I'm like, literally, how did you like have that thought? Like, how is
Yeah.
that different?
That's so interesting. Wow. It must be because I watched 2011 or rewatched 2011 so recently too that it's just
That's true.
I'm getting
Yeah.
some weird fused memories every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it rather unnerving, especially with the feminine voice they gave him. Going back on the first topic, in Latin America, they also gave him a feminine voice that wasn't even trying to sound like a guy, and because of that, I keep misgendering him to this day. Yeah,
That
makes sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely
That makes
sense.
Finally, Cyper, Rip Waifu. There's actually no description of her confrontation with Ilumi in the manga, so both anime versions are original. Oh. Huh.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
Dang, okay. Yeah, fair
There
enough.
you go. I forgot about that. Which one's better? Ilumi casually throwing a needle through her sniper scope, or him straight up jumping at max speed towards you? You make the call. I like both. But
Conceptually, throwing the needles through the cyberscope is cooler. Or like that's it's cooler, but jumping up at max speed that looked badass. So like I don't know, it's either or.
They're both
for me.
cool.
Yeah.
Finally, the fact that we can see Goze's body just laying there the whole time is very disturbing. Yeah, I like that.
Definitely.
It just shows how like casual they are about everything they do.
All right, going to the last half of this comment now. Episode 23. Hisoka just running like he's ice skating. Just thought I'd mention it. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
It looks funny for
Love
sure.
it.
Yeah, the scene where Kurapika unsheathes his swords is a 99 classic and something that would fit his personality really well. Like he told Netero, given the right reason, I'd fight anyone, but with no reason, I won't fight at all. So him having his swords literally sealed up and only breaking it when it's a life or death situation feels very in character.
I love
Maybe
it, man.
That's probably why it felt as badass as it is. It's just like,
It's
all right,
so
well, it's real
cool.
now. Like, and we'll
Yeah,
probably
like-
never see it again. That's the sad part.
No, unlikely.
Yeah, tough. And then Hisoka goes full werewolf, and that is barely a joke here. Also, Hisoka's face. Who did it better? Who did it better? I'm assuming you're talking about 99, 2011 again.
I have to imagine, and both are really great, but man, the face in particular. I might give that to 2011, but
Yeah, it feels kind of unfair though, because like that's just like better animation all around, right?
yeah, for the most part, yeah.
I don't know, tough, but both are good.
Yeah,
regardless.
that's a tough one.
The moment of the attack, I don't doubt more comparisons will come from this, but a small detail I like is Gon's wrist twist the moment Hisoka jumps. It really shows how he had to be aware at all times and ready to react with lightning speed.
Yeah.
Garetta's dead. It's fascinated by how this scene is different in all iterations. Manga.
Yeah.
We stay with Gon till we see Hisoka carrying Garetta's decapitated head. 2011. We stay with Gon till we see Hisoka carrying Garetta's lifeless body. 1999. We cut from Gon, we see Garetta being struck down, and we cut back to see Hisoka carrying Garetta's hat swarming with hemotropic butterflies. Yeah, it's different in every single version.
It really is, yeah. So is that true? Is there not? They don't show the moment of him being struck down in other versions, because I could
I
have
don't think
sworn that
so.
was in the manga. Huh.
Yeah, I think it just like it shows Gon lying on the ground, and we see Hisoka carrying.
That's
something back.
interesting. Because that particular panel, I can see it in my head of Garetta, like his neck, like kind of weirdly twisting in a direction as he falls. For some reason I can just see that in the manga, but
So interesting.
I guess it didn't happen. It's just a weird false memory.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
I love how each version had to find a way to circumnavigate the censorship to present the scene as faithful as they could. Yes, I do watch all 3 versions to make these comments. That's how I roll. Holy.
Hell yeah.
That's
Hell yeah.
commitment. I respect it, though. Also, the bloody knuckles were a nice touch. Yeah, they were.
I agree.
24. Oh man, what a way to start an episode. It's really brutal to watch those 3 days. From him dragging himself, puking, yelling in frustration. Brutal. But Mito-san's memories and the animals trying to nurse him back to health is really heartwarming. It really is. I really like it a lot. Side note, I love that through most of it, we only get the sounds of nature. Very atmospheric. It really pushes the idea that this is his lowest moment so far, and him having to pick himself up again while dealing with his feeling of impotence. In case it's not clear, I really like this edition. God bless you, Amori Brothers, and your comic relief. And Killa being a Catboy is always a plus. Also, bald. My eyes.
Yeah.
99 loves the baldness. I respect it a lot. I like the baldness too.
Yes.
I know it's just a montage, but 99 beautiful backgrounds really elevates it. And that's all for this week. Next time, it's Ponzu.
Next time it is Ponzu. And
Curious to see how
evidently
some of that will look.
Tompa.
Yeah, and Tompa too. I don't know how that's gonna work, but okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting time for sure. But thank you for the comment. Yeah, good points all around. I agree with most of it.
So I had one person agree with me on my take on episode 24. There weren't a lot of comments really about it directly. But
No, but well, okay. At least the general impression that I'm getting though is that most at least like the first few minutes of the episode of like showing just how like Gon's at his lowest in general.
which I
How
do like as well.
atmospheric it is. Yeah.
Pretty much until it cuts away after the Mito flashback. I like all of that. But then after it cuts away, or after, post Mito flashback, I don't like. Yeah, after Gon speaks. That's exactly it. I wish it was just like a silent episode the whole time.
I would if it was all silent, I think that would just be like more just like bold direction for the time especially. So like I would have loved even more for that for sure.
Yeah, I think that would have been awesome. I kept hoping that that's what it would be. But nope. He started talking and that's when I lost it.
Unfortunate, but we can all agree on something from that at least, so that's good.
Yeah.
And that's it for community comments this week. So, reminding you as well, if you want to get in on the fun, if you didn't get in this time, discussing any topic from week to week, make sure you keep an eye out for the YouTube community posts, as well as the call-out posts on Twitter and Bluesky. And, of course, if you're an audio-only listener and you don't have social media for whatever reason, you can always email us at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com.
That's right. And with that, this has been the Hunter Association. Thank you so much for listening. We're available on all major podcasting platforms, as well as YouTube for the video version. Be sure to follow, rate, review, and comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can follow us on Twitter at TXHXAPod, as well as Bluesky at THAPod, for updates on the show and as an alternative way to submit responses to the weekly call-out posts. As always, we'll be here the same time every week talking about Hunter x Hunter. Dylan, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Bluesky at DJ Tengen. That's DJTENGEN. I've been tweeting a lot about the One Piece card game lately, especially since I somehow miraculously converted like half of my friend group into playing the game too. So that's been what's on my mind lately, aside from Hunter x Hunter. So if you're interested in that, go check me out.
And you can find me just on Bluesky at Kaige10. That's KAIIGE10. I pulled a manga rare.
Luckiest bastard of all time. I have to talk about it now that he's brought that up. I convinced this guy to get his very first booster box of One Piece, and he pulls a $700 card out of it first try. I've opened like 10 boxes total since getting into the game, and I haven't pulled a single manga.
Here, hold on, let me grab it.
Yeah, if you're watching the YouTube, the video version, you can see that manga card on the screen right about now. Look at that. I woke up punching the air this morning thinking about how you did that last night on camera.
I woke up and the first thing I did was I went and found this card just to make sure it was actually real. Like this wasn't a dream that I pulled this. And there it is. If you're on YouTube at least. And if you're on audio, you can go to my Twitter, or not Twitter, I'm not on Twitter. But Bluesky and see the photo. Yeah. That's crazy.
And I pulled like $12 out of my box.
Yeah, he got trash garbage.
It was bad. That was one of the worst boxes I've ever opened, and I can't believe it. Anyways, yeah, that's neither here or there. This is a Hunter x Hunter podcast.
That's right. Yeah, that's all we got for this week. So next week, it's a variety hour week. So we will be talking about Togashi himself.
Yeah.
So taking a sort of break from Hunter x Hunter specifically, and we're talking just about Togashi's career, his life, his other works. I'll get to do a bit of talking about Yu Yu Hakusho one-sidedly, but I can explain things to Dylan at least.
Maybe revisit level. Was it level X? Is
Yeah.
that what it was called? Yeah.
Level E.
Or level E. Well, where did I get X from? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. But yeah, we'll talk about it all. So get some thoughts ready. I'll have that call-out post up sometime this week, and join us for that.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
All right, so we'll see you next week for that. Take care, guys.
Sounds good. Have a good rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this, listening.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya. All right, everybody, welcome to our I'll start over.
Awesome.
Whoops.
That was great, dude. Lasted 2 seconds.
My best take yet. Okay.